Good morning and welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living, North Metro. We welcome all the people on the West Coast, all on the East Coast, and everybody in between and all around the world. Thank you for joining us today. We're going to get started with evocation. So if you would, close your eyes, get comfortable in your seat, take some deep cleansing breaths, and allow yourself to move center. As I recognize that there's one power, one presence, one infinite eternal life force that we call God. God is, and that's all that there is. The creator, the creation, the creativity. Everything that is within this universe is God. That which is seen and unseen, that which is animate and inanimate. It is all God, it is all good. And I recognize that my life and God's life is one life. And Reverend Valerie's life and God's life is one life. And so is everybody's who is in listening distance of my voice. Right where you are, God is in its entirety. And so as we move into this celebration service, I know that everything that needs to be said is said with clarity. Everything that needs to be heard and understood is done so. And each person is a blessing to this spiritual center. As we send out blessings to each person that is listening, I know that right where you are, the eternal life of God is unfolding in its perfection and wholeness. And for this, I give thanks. So very grateful to know this truth. So very grateful to know the life of God is at hand all the time. But more than words can say, I'm grateful to know that this word is now complete and we're experiencing it right here and right now. And so in deep gratitude, I give thanks by letting go, letting God, and simply allowing it to be. And so it is. So it is. So we have a wonderful musician here with us today. We're going to turn it over to her. Her name is Mindy Sterling. Hi.
All right. One of the things we've been experiencing is turning to each other and knowing that even if we feel alone, we're not alone. We've got the love in our hearts. We've got the love of God. We've got the love of each other. And recently, we need to say thank you for how sweet it is to be loved by you. How sweet it is to be loved by you. I need the shelter of someone's arms. There you were. Needed to understand my ups and downs. There you were. The sweet love and devotion, gently touching my emotion. I wanna stop and thank you, baby. I just wanna stop. Thank you, Spirit. Sing it with me. How sweet it is to be loved by you, the divine one. How sweet it is to be loved by you. Send it out to someone far away. Close my eyes at night, wondering where would I be without you in my life. Everything I know is just a bore. Everywhere I've been, seems I've been there before. 'Cause you brighten up for me all of my days. Love so sweet, in so many ways I wanna stop and thank the Spirit. I just wanna stop and let you hear it. Come on, sing it. Wow. How sweet it is to be loved by you. How sweet it is to be loved by you. You're better to me than almost to myself. For me, that's you, and there ain't nobody else. I wanna stop and thank the Spirit. I just wanna stop. Come on. Let me hear it, send it to someone far away. How sweet it is to be loved by you. One of your friends in another state, in another country. How sweet it is to be loved. Sending you God's energy right now. I said, how sweet it is to save a hug for you.
That was awesome.
Announcements?
Yep.
Okay, today's title is Being Me. The reading is The Art of Being and Becoming from Hazrat Inayat Khan. And today's special music you've already gotten to enjoy is Mindy Sterling. And so if you're on Facebook, please check in to Center for Spiritual Living North Metro. If you happen to shop on Amazon and you're not supporting another nonprofit, please change your charity to Center for Spiritual Living North Metro. And also, if you have a prayer request, please get on our website, CSL North Metro, and send us a prayer request. And if you need us to talk with you, just pray with you, send you a prayer back, all of that we can do. So just get on Facebook and let us pray with you.
Yes.
So today's affirmations: I treat myself and everyone with unconditional loving kindness. Love is the greatest force in the universe. I embrace my inner power and strength in all moments. There is joy and wonder to be found in every experience. I focus my thoughts on all that is positive and uplifting. Everything is in perfect order, and I am present in it, and so it is.
So it is.
Today's reading is from The Art of Becoming by Hazrat Inayat Khan.
Easy for you to say.
It wasn't actually. Many times, people are trained in politeness and are taught a polished language and manner. Yet, if this is the spirit of vanity, if this spirit of vanity is pronounced, it will creep up in spite of all good manners and beautiful language and express itself in a person's thought, speech, or action, calling out, I am, I am. If a person be speechless, this vanity will leap out of the expression of their glance. It is the hardest thing to suppress and control. For adepts, the struggle in life is not so great with the passions and the emotions, which sooner or later, by more or less effort, can be controlled. But with vanity, which is always growing, if one cuts down its stem, then one cannot live, for it is the very self, it is the I, the ego, the soul, or God within. It cannot be denied its existence. But struggling with it beautifies it more and more and makes it more and more tolerable, that which in crude form is intolerable. Vanity may be likened to a magic plant. If one sees it growing in the garden as a thorny plant and cuts it down, it will grow in another place in the same garden as a fruit tree. And when one cuts it down again in another place in the same garden, it will spring up as a bush of fragrant roses. It exists just the same, but in a more beautiful form, which gives happiness to those who touch it. The art of personality, therefore, does not teach the rooting out of the seed of vanity, which cannot be rooted out as long as we live. But its crude outer garb may be destroyed in order that after dying several deaths, it may be manifested as the plant of desires.
Mm-hmm. So once again, the glorious Mindy Sterling.
Things that we're always talking about here, praying about, sharing about, learning about, is how to lift ourselves up above situations. Not ignore them, but learn from them, rise above them, if you will. And this is a song I didn't write this one, I wish I had, but it's a beautiful tune about doing exactly that. Who knows what tomorrow brings? In a world few hearts survive. All I know is the way I feel. When I give, I feel more alive. The road is long. There are mountains in our way, but we share our hearts every day. Love lifts us up where we belong, where the eagles cry on a mountain high. Love lifts us up where we belong. Far from the world we know, of where the blessings flow. Some hold on to what used to be, live their lives looking behind. All we have is the here and now, our chance to be loving and kind. The road is long. There are mountains in our way, but we climb and we get every day. Love lifts us up where we belong, where the eagles cry on the mountain high. Love lifts us up where we belong, far from the world below, where the blessings flow. Blessings flow. Blessings flow.
Yay, that's so beautiful.
Thank you. That was awesome. Oh, so good to be alive, awake, and aware, and to be in this moment celebrating life in its fullness. I collect quotes because I'm writing a book of daily readings, and I start each one out with a quote, and quotes come from me all over the place. But one came from me a while back, and it struck me at a deep place because it stymied me. I didn't understand it right off, and it was, I have to change to remain the same by Willem D. Kooning. I have to change to remain the same. And I thought about that and and it's like, I need to set this aside and just contemplate it for a while. So I'd revisit it every once in a while, and then all of a sudden it dawned on me. I understood what it meant. And it's because we're spiritual beings, and it's because we're all spiritual students. Well, I don't know about all of us, but I know I am. And I'm constantly, consciously, and continually trying to grow and expand into something greater than I was a moment ago. So I looked at this quote, and it said, I needed to change to remain, to be me. And that made sense because we're constantly changing. We can't hold on to what was and be ourselves, because that's impossible. So we become a facade of ourselves, or something that isn't real, something that isn't who we really are. So as students, it might be important to ask some questions like, who is me? Am I being me? Am I one me at home and another me out in public? Is there a me that I want to be? Who is that me I want to be? So we're called to let go of old beliefs, let go of living in the good old days, because there's no such thing as the good old days. There's the good old day, and this is the day. This is the perfect day, the day to embrace yourself, look in the mirror and say, this is me. This is who I am. I am this spiritual being, and my soul is part of this body, but the body is really the part of the soul. So I continue to grow, and I continue to have my beliefs change as I grow. There's a show on TV that I've been watching. It's called The Curse of Oak Island. And it's about these two brothers that live in Canada. And there's an island called Oak Island. And there's supposedly a treasure that's buried there. And it goes back 200. There's been several teams of people trying to find this treasure. And they're the latest. I'm forgetting their names, but they're the latest pair of people trying to find this treasure. And they're looking all over this island and they're discovering things. But what's interesting to me is they find little bits and pieces that keep them going and keep them digging for the treasure. They'll find a coin here, they'll find an old tool there, and just all these different things that they keep finding that are hundreds and hundreds of years old to make them know that there's a treasure there. So they find these little tiny pieces of treasure that keep them going. And I compare that to our lives, that we keep digging into our innermost being. We keep looking inside and digging deeper. And every once in a while, we'll get a little coin or a little gold piece or something that gives us an aha. And we say, yes, this is true. But there's a treasure that's even greater and grander than I could possibly know. And that treasure is God. So as I grow spiritually and keep digging and changing what needs to be changed in me, then I become the me that is me in this moment. And this moment is all we have. So the me that is me can look out into the world and see the you that is you, see the glory of you, see the how you being you uplifts me and how I can be uplifting to you. And all of us are so interconnected. There's this one universe, there's this one spirit, there's this one God that created us in his likeness and image. And sometimes it's hard to see. Even when we look in a mirror, we may not see the glory and the grandness of who we are, that we're something more than what we believe. We're something more than what we can conceive in any given moment, because we keep digging for the treasure that is deeper than us, the center of God. There's a, I can't remember where we got it, but it was on Ram Dass talking about how he went to his guru and they took acid together and it sent Ram Dass on this trip, but didn't affect the guru at all because he was in this heightened state beyond anything that he could take or would influence his mind because he was a guru. So that's the treasure we're looking for. That's what we keep digging deep inside to find. The treasure within us, the God presence within us, the perfection of who we are, the everlasting, eternal being that we are. I don't know how many of you know Sammy Davis Jr., but he made this song popular back when he was on the scene. And it goes like this: whether I'm right or whether I'm wrong, whether I find a place in the world or never belong, I gotta be me. I gotta be me. What else can I be but what I am? What else can we be but what we are? Magnificent, holy, divine, perfect, whole, and complete. And if anything, if any of those aren't what you're experiencing in the moment, then dig, because there's another piece of the treasure waiting for you. There's a divine coin of opportunity, of exploration, of beauty, of freedom, of power, of clarity, all waiting to be discovered within the depths of your being. Tommy?
Thank you. So I took this title, Being Me, and I started also with, who am I? Am I that person who shows up at work that needs to be perfect and never make a mistake? Or am I my authentic self all of the time? And I've been working on being my authentic self for a really long time because I've got very, very good in the world of business of being who I thought I was expected to be. And at that time, was expected to work, I don't know, at least 50, 60 hours a week. I think the most hours I ever worked in a week was 90. And the most hours I ever worked in a day was 24. So
That's crazy.
that is crazy. And as we look back on those things, that seemed so important at the time because I was brought up in a world where that was the expectation. You went to work, you did a good job, you did what you were supposed to do, you got advanced, and you just kept working. And as I got to be older, I got to realize that probably wasn't the most important thing in my life, and yet I treated it that way. And there's a book that we teach practitioners that talks about the top 5 regrets of the dying. And so it's like as we age and as we get older, we begin to understand there's a really lot more to life than the things that maybe we were taught, and that maybe we can take the time to breathe and to enjoy our families and maybe go on walks and maybe take vacations and maybe do some of the stuff that some of us, because we grew up with that work ethic of just working all of the time, didn't do so much. And so we come here and we experience the physical. And it's kind of easy to forget that we're divine. It's kind of like we're busy going to our job and making meals and cleaning the house and doing the wash and taking care of the kids and doing the stuff. And it's so easy to forget who we are. And yet all those expectations and all those things are not at all who we are. And that doesn't mean we don't have to do those things, because obviously we need a place to live and we need to put food on the table and we need to do all those things. And there are things that are equally important, if not more important, that we also need to spend our time on. So I've been thinking about, people talk about old souls and new souls, and I've never quite understood exactly what that was. But I remember when my sons were born, you just look into those tiny new person eyes, and the depth of wisdom in those eyes is just incredible. Like that little new body can't take care of itself and doesn't really know very much. It knows how to cry to get the things it needs, but the wisdom inside that body is the divine within it. And that wisdom just shows up in the eyes so much when they're brand new kids. It's just so amazing. And so as we go about our spiritual journey and as we learn things, if we begin to recognize that about ourselves, that we came here for a purpose, that there are things we came here to learn. I read someplace that we learn in one physical experience what it takes 1,000 years to learn in whatever our other experience is. And so that is why we keep coming back and doing the things that we do to grow and grow spiritually, and hopefully this time more than the last time, and more and more and more. And that reminded me of the Buddhist word. It's bodhisattva, which is that person who's on the path to becoming a Buddha, and they choose to, and that means they don't need to be in the Buddhist language, in the Buddhist religion, that means they don't need to be reincarnated anymore, but they choose to continue to be here because they're here to help others, and they help others stop their suffering. And so that we have those teachers among us who are further along than we are, and they choose to be here to help us to go where we want to go. One of the things that I think is top on the list when we start really working on ourselves spiritually is learning that forgiveness. And there are books and books and books and books about how to learn how to forgive. And it doesn't mean forget, and it doesn't mean that you're saying that that thing that was done wasn't wrong. It just means I'm going to let it go within me so that it doesn't eat at me anymore, so that it isn't stopping me from being who I came here to be. And so there's an author that wrote Radical Forgiveness, Colin Tipping, and he suggests, now I'm not saying I believe this or that you should, it's just a thought, that we actually have a group of souls that we travel with, and we have this list of things that we're here to learn. And so we decide before we come in, and the person says, okay, this time I'll be the one that betrays you, and this time I'll be the one that does this, and this time I'll be the one that does that, so that you can learn to get past that. So what a whole new way of looking at things that would be if those people that really irritate us, or those people who have hurt us, or the injuries that we think we can't forgive, what if they're really just here to help us grow? What an amazing thought that is. So then I started thinking about, what if we spend each day a little bit of time saying, what's really important to me? What's important to me today? And yes, I have many, many, many things to do. I'm the queen of the to-do list, and I am. So I have little times and little dates and little reminders that come up on my computer all the time about all the things on my to-do list. And I'm thinking, what if I just put a little reminder out there to breathe? What if I just put a little reminder out there, go outside for a few minutes? What if I just put a reminder out there, oh, let's go meditate for a few more minutes, or let's do a prayer for a few more minutes? And as I'm saying this, I realize that would work really well for me. So we all have our own way of managing things and our own way of time things. But as the little reminders come up on my computer, instead of it all just being to do, how wonderful it would be to just breathe. So then we can, let's do that. And then we can become more aware, and we can just really begin to recognize when we're at the point of unconsciousness where, let's say, I'm really, really, really controlling, and I used to be, and I'm letting it go. I'm doing better. And so we're about to tell somebody that they did something wrong and that they need to do it our way, and we go, if I don't do it as much as I used to, do I? No. I catch myself, oh, that wasn't nice. And sometimes I don't catch myself until after I've done it, and probably I don't always catch myself either. And I'm aware of it, and it's a thing that it's on my list of things. Hey, being controlling doesn't make me happy. Having every single thing my way doesn't make me happy. What makes me happy is the relationships that I have with people. And it doesn't serve relationships to have everything my way. So we can just start becoming more aware of what we're thinking. And is it something that makes us feel good about ourselves and others, or is it something that does it increase our happiness or does it lower our happiness? Because if it's increasing our happiness, then great. If it makes us unhappy, what are we doing thinking that thought? And let's just begin to understand that we are really in control of those thoughts, and we can choose how we think about things, and we can choose what to do about things. Because no thing is the truth of who we are. No thing is. And so what I'm perceiving, what I'm thinking, what I'm feeling, that's not who I am. That's not who you are. That's not who any of us is. The truth of our being is that we're one with the infinite, one with each other, one with this planet, one with all that is. And so if we treat each person, like according to the golden rule that's in every religion in the world in just a different fashion, we treat ourselves like we would like to be treated, and we treat our planet like we would like to be treated, and we treat others like we would like to be treated, what a world it would be. Mm-hmm. What a wonderful world, to coin a song. And so when we're in that space where we're recognizing the truth of our being, or recognizing the divine presence within, that presence is encouraging. That presence is full of ideas and the next thing and the next thing to do to unfold in an absolute amazing perfection. So I'm just inviting us all to take those moments during the day, to take those moments when we might be upset, or when we might be stressed, or when we might be frustrated, and just take a minute and breathe. Take a minute and say an affirmation or prayer, or do that thing that uplifts you. And so do you have stuff to add to that?
Well, I think it's important that we do all those things that Reverend Valerie said, and we choose to be in this moment fully and completely, to be the you that is you, and for me to be the me that is me, to live this life fully and to constantly change. Allow the change to unfold in your life. Embrace it, call it good, celebrate it, give a big yes to it, and move from glory to greater glory, knowing that you were put here for a very special reason. And that is just to be you. Nothing more complicated than that. Yes, you'll do all kinds of great things, but being you is the most important thing you can be, because who you are is a reflection of what God is.
Yes.
And as you live it, you show it. And as you show it, you change lives, you change the planet, you change everything that is around you. You can do this.
Yes.
I know you can.
Yes.
And we embrace it and we bless you for it.
Yes.
Thank you. You want to do the prayer?
So once again, we just breathe in and out. And as we breathe in, we recognize that God is breathing our breath. God is beating our hearts. God is the thinker of our thoughts. That right where we are, God is. Right where I am, right where each person listening and being present with us right now is, right where everyone is, God is. As we breathe in, we're breathing in God. As we look out and see trees and flowers and stars and people and mountains and rivers and oceans, that's God. So absolutely knowing that one truth, the oneness of our being, that there is no thing outside of God. I know for each one of us, I know absolute divine wisdom, divine guidance. I know peace. I know love. I know abundance and prosperity. I know kindness and compassion for others. I know that we expand our awareness of the truth of our being. We expand our life and our understanding of who we came here to be. And we grow it and grow it and grow it until we're just expanding into that oneness, and we can just feel that divine essence all of the time, and every breath and everything we can see and everything we say, we can feel the divine.
Yes.
It's just a palpable energy within. It's bright and it's beautiful and it's lovely, and we can have the opportunity to breathe that divine light in all of the time, to see that with our eyes, to feel that with our being. We are that.
Yes.
And each time we look at anyone or anything else, they are that, and they are we, and we are all one.
Yes.
That is the truth of our being, that oneness, that allness. And if we all just allow ourselves to be who we came here to be that oneness, to be that truth, to be that light. And we just breathe that in and understand that grace and imagine that oneness, because that's who we are. That's who everyone is. That's the truth of our being.
Yes.
And so I'm just going to take this time to pass this word to Reverend Michael.
And I'm so very grateful for this time we have shared together, knowing that we complete the circle of life, that from each and every person that is in contact with the sound of my voice, there's no separation. We're one right in this moment. So I bless this planet. I bless every living thing on this planet. I bless the life of the planet as it reveals to us that it's in charge. Mm-hmm. As it continues to clear its air and clear its rivers and clear its mountains and make room for life to take place in its fullness. And as we as human beings take the lesson from the planet and make the changes that are needed in our lives and be the changes that are needed on this planet, everything unfolds perfectly. There is no curse. There is no malady from the virus. We're lifted by it. We're more powerful by it. We're clearer by it. We're more kind by it. We're more visionary by it. We're more inspirational by it. It's come here to show us that we're more than our bodies. We're more than anything. We are divine light.
Yes.
Self-aware, intelligent light energy.
Yes.
That's who we are.
Yes.
So I give thanks for everybody that has joined in today for this service. I invite you to invite others, knowing that together we continue to grow and make this place we call Earth, our home, a better place to live in. I give thanks for knowing that the words we have spoken are now manifesting in everyone's experiences completely and wholly. So for this and so much more, I say thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, God. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, life.
Thank you.
This word is complete. It is done.
Yes.
So I release, I let go, and I allow it to be. And together we say,
And so it is. Amen, Ashe.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yay.
So, again, the beautiful Mindy Sterling.
Yay, Mindy.
How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? Could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul. Being ourselves, because everybody else is taken, so be yourself. I love the message that both of them were giving us. And I remember hearing a quote from the Dalai Lama that many of his followers come and say, the one question they want to ask is, who am I? And the Dalai Lama looks back at them and says, who's asking? How could anyone ever tell you that you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than a whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? Deeply you're connected to my soul.
Thank you, Mindy. That was wonderful. We appreciate you and love you.
Thank you. Feelings mutual.
And so now is our conscious giving time. And we have a whole bunch of ways to make it easy for you to support us. You can go to our website, cslnorthmetro.org, and there's a place where you can either use PayPal on our website, or there's another way that you can join and give from your checking account or a credit card. You can text to give. The text number is UYU give to 888-364-GIVE in order to receive a reply with the link for your giving interface. And once you've set it up, then it's just really easy. Or you can use Venmo. And a lot of us are using Venmo now. And all you have to do, if you decide you want to do that, is put your phone just right over that symbol right there with the camera on, and it'll take you right to the site. So we just really, really, really want to thank you for supporting us during this time, because this is what's allowing us to continue to do the broadcasts without any people here, and to continue to have the wonderful music that we have, and continue to do the amazing work that all of us at Centers for Spiritual Living and all the spiritual people everywhere are doing as we up-level our understanding of who we are. And so thank you so much for supporting us.
Centers for Spiritual Living has a saying, and we really believe in it, that we want to make a world that works for everyone. And this is our small part. And we are so grateful for you that have helped support us in this. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So once again,
time for Mindy.
Time for Mindy.
Yay, Mindy. Tell people how they can.
I always like to end these uplifting, wonderful messages that take us out in the world in a positive, kind of more energetic space.
But tell people how they can get hold of you too.
I'm sorry?
Tell people how they can see more about you too.
Oh, well, Mindy's under construction right now, but next, isn't that the truth? That goes with the message. I'm a work in progress. Shower the people you love with love. Show them the way that you feel. You can play it as a game. You can act out the part. But you know it wasn't written for you. How can you stand there with a broken heart, afraid to play the fool? One thing can lead to another. It doesn't take any sacrifice. Father, mother, sister, brother. It feels nice. Don't think twice. Just shower the people you love with love. Show them the way that you feel. Sing it with me. Gonna work out fine if you only will. Do what I say. Shower the people you love with love. Show them the way that you feel. Things are gonna work out better if you only will. You can run, but you cannot hide. This is why you know. How can you stand there with your foolish pride, all by yourself alone? Here comes a good part. You tell someone about the way that you feel. You feel it starting to ease. It's true what they say about the squeaky wheel. Well, it's always getting the grease. Better to shower the people you love with love. Show them the way that you feel. Things are gonna work out fine if you only will. What I like to do to you, shower the people you love with love. Show them the way that you feel. Things are gonna work out better if you only will. So go out in the world, take everything we heard today, spread it all over somebody else. Give them some love. And if they're looking like they need a little positivity, you got some to spare.
Yay, that is so beautiful. Thank you so much, Mindy.
We'll see you in 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Thanks for being part of the team. We love you.
I love you too. I love everything about this. Thanks for starting my day in such a positive way.
Yes, us, you too, us.
Yes.
Yeah. Benediction, you do.
Me do it? Okay, we're going to do a benediction and complete this service. So I give thanks for the beautiful time that we've had together. I know that as we go through our week, we're blessed and we bless many people. I know we carry this message with us and become the me that is me and the you that is you. And we unfold perfectly and splendidly as we continue to grow and find the treasure that is deep within us. I know each and every person that is listening and watching this streaming is an upliftment to the world. So I surround you with light and love and know that everything is unfolding perfectly in your life, just as it is. So for this and so much more, I'm eternally grateful. Giving thanks, I let go, I let it be, and so it is.
And so it is. And you're invited to join us on Zoom right after this, and we're going to have a discussion so that you can talk about those things that came up for you, and any of those kinds of things that you want to talk about. We'll be on Zoom in a minute. Thank you, and goodbye, everyone.
Bye.